Hello, everyone. Good day to you all. Welcome back to another episode of Agents in the Trenches. And as you guys know, this is a space and a place where we talk all things real estate, business, mindset, and ultimately whatever we find or we think that is valuable to our audience and community. As you guys know, if you don't know me yet, my name is Talia Miranda, and I'm the Business Development Director with Q International Experts. And if you guys are wondering, Lucy right now is currently at the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within training. So she is ultimately not available, but super, involved in the training. So if you guys, reach out to her and she maybe takes a little bit to respond back, just give her a little bit of grace because she is in that training. But she will reach back out to you. But nevertheless, a welcome in. If you guys are watching this live, go ahead and type hashtag live, or if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and type hashtag replay so we know exactly what time people kind of tune in, and it helps a little bit with the algorithm as well. So today I'm super excited. I mean, every week the conversations get better and better. We bring in a guest that just comes in with some golden nuggets, and talks about something extremely valuable. So today we are going to be exploring a program that has been helping a lot of families out and making homeownership more accessible to more people. So I'm super excited for this conversation, and I am super excited to bring in my guest. She has been here before, and you guys are gonna love her. She is such a cool person. She's super knowledgeable and she has a big heart. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring her in. Hi, Vidi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for that presentation. I'm flattered.
Well, I really truly mean it. We've worked already together, and you're such like a pleasure to work with and a pleasure to know and be ultimately like, friends. I think it's safe to say that we're really, friends in this industry now. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
No, thank you so much for the invitation. And like I told you when you reached out on a few days ago, like you were asking me about like if I wanted to talk about the hometown heroes, and I'm like, absolutely, that's my favorite program. Like I have been a big advocate since it came out last year, and it's an amazing program. I truly believe in it.
Yes. Okay. So before we get into that, tell us a little bit about you. Maybe like a little. Let's bring us into your life a little bit, and then we'll unleash this amazing program and what it looks like and all that.
Absolutely. So my name is Viri Martinez. If you know me from Instagram or Facebook, I go by V, Home Loans by V. That's how you can find me on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm a loan officer in Southwest Florida. I grew up in Naples. I'm originally from Mexico, so I speak Spanish. And I have worked in Southwest Florida for many years, and I love our community and everything that has to offer for all the people.
Yes, and if you know Viri, she does really have a big heart and she loves giving back, and whatever she can do to help, she's willing to, go all in. So we actually we experienced this, program together. We helped one of our clients close on his first property, and that was super exciting. This was not too long ago, a few months back, actually, right before they ran out of money. Is that right?
Yes, I think it was like probably like 2 weeks before they ran out of money. I was like, let's lock you in because the funds are running out, and they did. They probably ran out like within the next 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the program. Okay, so what is it? Okay, and maybe we start there. What is Hometown Heroes?
So the Hometown Heroes is a down payment assistance program that it started last year, back in 2022. Originally, this program was only for a specific group of people, such as teachers, police officers, firefighters. But this year, it was actually extended to all Florida residents, as long as you are a first-time home buyer and you work in a company that is established in the state of Florida and you work 30 plus 5 hours, you qualify for the program.
That's awesome. So, how much can someone be able to take advantage of using this program?
Yeah, so the way it works is you get 5% of the loan amount to pay for your closing costs and your down payment. So, kind of an easy math. So if your loan amount is $400,000, you get $500, and this money can be used to pay for your down payment. So if you apply for an FHA loan, coverage your down payment 100%, and you still have some funds left to pay for a percentage of your closing costs.
Okay, so so I guess what we can do is like, I'll ask you a question and then we could even bring it back to like the transaction that we did together, just to give like a real life example. So with our, client that we helped, so his loan was, I believe he purchased the house for $349, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So how much was he actually able to get in this, down payment assistance program?
So he was about to get about like $15,000, right?
Wow.
And so he paid so his down payment was covered 100%. He still has some money left over to pay for the closing costs. And you, being such an amazing agent, were able to negotiate. I think it was like he still got $5,000 from the buyer. So then that means that he was able to buy his house with like, I don't know, $3,000 that he came out of pocket, and he got an amazing deal, and he was able to take advantage of this program.
So if you guys did not hear that, check this out. With this program plus seller concessions, because we were able to give him, some credit from the seller, he purchased this house for just a little bit. I think it was just a little bit over $3,000. Like, that is incredible. That's mind blowing. Like, for people who think that they can't, they need a whole bunch of money to purchase a house, with this program, it actually helps you be able to save as much money as possible and still buy a house. And then check this out, because I do want to say this as well. This specific house that we helped him purchase, it had a main property, right? Where in the main property it was 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. And then it also had a little studio apartment where literally now he can rent out that spot and be able to cover, a majority of his mortgage, right? So like, this whole deal was truly incredible. It really was. And I'm super happy for him, because now like he can, still do his thing, work full time, be able to pay his bills or whatever, but have that, that little studio apartment cover the majority of his mortgage.
Yes. And one of the things, and I tell people this story all the time, and I use this particular client as a reference, is
Wow.
One of the most impressive things about him, he is 23 years old.
Yeah.
He's 23 years old. He was able to buy his first house. Like you said, you got him an amazing deal, with the house. So not only is he was able to apply for Hometown Heroes, get, his down payment 100% covered, plus additional closing costs, plus a seller concession, and also the property that you got him, he's getting a rental income from that property because he had like a studio, like you said. So just think about it. 23 years old. Sometimes I'm like, where was this information when I was growing up? Where was this information? And all of that to say is that a lot of people, and I see it all the time, a lot of people, they don't buy a house not because they can't. It's because either they don't know how, or they really don't have the right information or the right guidance. I see that happening all the time.
Yeah, and that's so unfortunate, because and there's nothing, I'm gonna say this carefully, right? I mean, if you gotta rent, you gotta rent, right? But a lot of times people think that that's the only option, right? That they almost disqualify themselves from being able to purchase a home, not knowing the opportunities and it's just ultimately what's out there, right? So this is where it's up to us to be able to educate these people and say, hey, listen, renting is cool and all, but just know you're paying 100% interest, right? Like if you're scared of the interest rates now, like you should be scared of the position that you're in at this current moment, because you're all of your money is going in towards the somebody else's mortgage, right? When it could be going towards yours. And also you can be saving ultimately at the end of the year of if you compare the numbers. But let's talk a little bit more about this program. And I love that you use, our current, or this current person, right? And the transaction that we closed as a reference to other people, because it was truly such a great deal that we were able to get him. So I'm super excited, and I'm still reaching out to him now. We're still in contact, and he's super happy with his purchase. And that makes me happy, because I'm like, wow, like, he's really young, and he's working full time, and we already know everything is so expensive these days. So to be able to save money here and there is awesome, and having that extra unit does help him as well. So let's talk a little bit. So maybe that's something that we can talk a little bit about. So this program, you can purchase any type of house. Is that correct?
So, you can buy a single family house, you can buy a duplex. If you're a first time home buyer, you can buy a duplex, kind of like a similar scenario that we explained. You can buy a duplex, which is 2 units. You can live in 1 unit and you can rent out the other one. And you can still get 5% cover for the down payment and the closing costs. You can also buy a condo, an apartment, a townhouse. I mean, even a manufactured home, like it qualifies for. Like there are a lot of options for this program.
So is there any income limits to be able to qualify for this program?
Yeah, so there's income limits, and they literally go by county. So I don't have it in front of me right now, but if anybody like listening to us right now want to find out, they can reach out to me, they can reach out to you. So Collier County, there's an income limit. Lee County, there's a different income limit. Charlotte County, same thing. But one of the beautiful things about this program is that their income limits are very realistic. What do I mean by this? Because there are a lot of other down payment assistance programs where their income limits are so low that people don't qualify for the down payment assistance program, but they don't qualify for the mortgage because their income is not enough. So this program is the way that they did it is like really thinking about the consumer, because they're very realistic, like I said, with the income limits. They're very realistic with the purchase price, because that's the other thing. This program, sometimes the requirements are very strict. That, like I said, the amount of people that can qualify is limited, but this program is very realistic. Their requirements are very flexible, and it's a great opportunity. One thing though, Talia, that I want to let people know is that they need to take advantage of this program as soon as possible. Why am I saying this? Because when the program opened up back in, I believe it was July of 2023, they had $100 million of funding, and it ran out. I'm not kidding you. They ran out in 2 months.
Wow.
100 million. So literally this Monday, November 6th, they released another $36 million, which honestly, it was a surprise, a good surprise. I didn't know they were going to do it because they were thinking they were going to do it until next year. But they released $36 million, and I checked this morning what the balance is, and they only have, it's been 5 days, and they are down to 30 million, which means that it's probably going to last another 3 weeks if and I'm just being like very optimistic, but it could be probably even less.
Wow, that is crazy. 5 days and they're already down 6 million, right? Did I hear that right? Oh my goodness. So act fast. Definitely act fast. And okay, so say someone is considering this, right? They're like, oh, okay, this sounds great. I don't know if my income is enough, right? So say in that scenario where you're like, okay, you can qualify for the program, but your income is not enough. What can someone do to be able to qualify in that case?
So what I always tell people to do is to always schedule a consultation with a professional. It doesn't necessarily have to be me, but at least like go to a place where they can give them correct information. Like do not disqualify themselves, because a lot of times they just think they don't qualify, or they have heard that they don't qualify, or they compare themselves with somebody else who has a similar scenario as them. So it's always, always I advise people to schedule consultation with a professional, get pre-approved, and then that way, that's like the best way that either they can know they qualify, or if they don't qualify, we can give them a plan to get their mortgage ready, and then that way, either even a strategy to like, help them get there, or like give them options if they need, some help on that regard.
So let's talk about credit score, because I'm sure that's probably another big question. What is there a minimum credit score? And if there is, what is that number?
So the minimum credit score is 640, and typically all down payment assistance programs, minimum score is between 620 to 640. So for this program in particular, the credit score is 640.
Okay. So, someone comes in, they have that consultation, they basically are on, they're on the roll. They're like, yes, I qualify. So how long does it take, I guess, the process? Because maybe some people might think that it might be a long process because they have to, now get this down payment assistance. So they're not too sure exactly how long does it take. So what would you say roughly from the time maybe they find a house till the time they close? What's that time frame, and what was the fastest maybe that you've closed? I don't know if you have a record yet, but maybe you can give us the inside scoop with that.
So I would say between 21 to 30 days max.
Wow.
Again, one of the good things about this program is that they're very fast, to answer. They're really easy to work with, which is the other side, like that we have to deal with them. They're super easy to work with. So I would say between 21 to 30 days. A lot of people think that it takes a long time, but it can take months. And in reality, once you have a contract, an offer accepted, and I get the contract, it's between 21 to 30 days max.
Okay. So I guess my other question would be, is there any possibilities of people being able to like combine programs? Like say that there's something, and I don't know, maybe that's a question that someone would be curious about, but maybe they need a lot of help and they're like, okay, is there anything else that I can I can do?
It's funny because I get that question a lot. It's like, can I do this and can I combine it with that? Unfortunately not. You can only use one program at a time. We cannot combine it with like a county, a down payment assistance program offered by the county. You can only use one at a time.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like when you go to the store and you have like coupons, right? Sometimes you can combine them and sometimes you can't. That's just the way it is.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's one, you cannot combine it with any other program. But like I said, you could get a concession from the seller. You can still negotiate to get some money to pay for your closing costs as well.
Yeah, and it's 100% possible. So for those who are not sure or a little skeptical about that, like, yes, sellers are giving credits. That's just, you got to have a good agent to be able to negotiate that for you. But it's very much possible. And yeah, just find yourself somebody. And if you don't know, reach out to me. I'm going to drop my number in a little bit. So like that, if you guys have any questions, reach out to me so I can give you some further clarification, and then we can jump on a 3-way, call or meeting with VD and, start the process. Because like she's saying, in just 5 days of them releasing this program, they are down. They started at 36 million, right? And now they're at 30 million. So it's going fast in just 5 days. So don't wait. If one of your New Year's resolution is to purchase a house, now is the time to start. And then with this amazing program, you can get like the ultimate Black Friday deal, right?
Better than Black Friday deal.
Yes, like a house. Forget about your TVs, the Xbox, the electronics. Forget about that. Let's get you in a house, and then we'll talk about your TVs later.
Exactly. And you bring a really good point, and this is a conversation that I'm having with a lot of customers because a lot of people are thinking, well, I'm gonna wait until rates come down. I'm gonna wait until the prices come down. And one thing that a lot of them don't know is like all of the benefits that they have right now in the market that we are. And what do I mean by that? Because a lot of people are still like on the fence to buy a house. Number one, there's not a lot of competition. The competition is like it's super, super small compared to other markets that we have seen, which means that this way, because there's not a lot of competition, sellers that have their properties in the market are still willing to reduce the purchase price, number one, and also they're still giving incentives to the buyers because they're willing to buy the house, they have the house in the market, and so buyers can still get seller incentives, seller concessions to pay for the closing costs. So I feel like a lot of people don't know, that they have these benefits, and like this is the perfect if they want to buy a house, this is the perfect time to do it because what's gonna happen when the rates go down is the rates are gonna go down, and because there's gonna be like all these people that have been waiting are going to enter the market, the prices are gonna go up because now there's higher demand, right? So even if we have lower rates, we're gonna have higher prices because there's just so much demand. And I spend so much time explaining this to people because it's a reality. Unfortunately, and I wish I could tell them there's gonna be the perfect, beautiful time where rates are low and prices are low. Unfortunately, that's not a reality, and we're never gonna see something like that.
Thank you so much for explaining that. I think a lot of times that kind of goes over people's heads, right? And sometimes you have to literally like break it down and write it out, right? And give like real life examples, like let's compare these two houses, and then let's compare, because sometimes you have to see it, and that's why it's so important. Like if you're not too sure and you're on the fence and you're not, you don't know where your situation's at, reach out, schedule your consultation, and let's break it down. Viri is amazing with numbers, so let's break it down with her. We will write it out, we'll map it out, we'll show you what it looks like, because for real, like a lot of times you don't know what you don't know, so let us help you. And just so you know, I guess I want to say this for my realtors in case there's any realtors out here. One of the things that I did discover in this program, right? And Viri, you can talk a little bit on that as well and kind of explain why. If you have a transaction fee of over $400, if I'm not mistaken, they cover up to 400, right? Maybe you can kind of explain to that point. So just keep that in mind as well. And Viri, do you want to like kind of touch on that?
Yes. So because it's a government program, it has like some restrictions, and it's more to protect the consumer. So even on our end, they lower the underwriting fee and processing fee that we can charge. I need to look and see if they update it, but I think it was like 1,500. So me as a lender, that's the max that I can charge. And also for the agents, it has a cap of how much they can charge the borrower. So if you want to find out, how much it is, just send me a DM. I'll be happy to check for you and let you know. But the way, again, this is one of the beautiful things about the program, because it is designed thinking about the consumer. It is designed to help the consumer and to protect them as well. Because me as a lender, I offer this program, but at the same time, the program is designed to protect the client. to make sure that, we're not overcharging fees as lenders, or real estate agents are not overcharging fees and things like that. So, it's one of the things that I really like, that it was creative, really thinking about the consumer.
Yeah, and if I love that. Thank you so much. And if your company's transaction fee is over that $400, just a little tip. What you can do and what we've done is, just reach out to your buyer and let them know, hey, this is what's going on, and then just make an arrangement after the fact if you have to get that covered from the buyer, like outside of the closing. So I hope that's okay to say. But I just wanted to go ahead and say that anyways, because that's something that, of course, we have to consider, right? Because if it doesn't come from our client, it's essentially going to come from our pocket, right? So and we work off of 100% commission, so every penny counts, especially in this market today. So I just wanted to say that as well. But if you guys have any other questions, I don't know if whoever's watching live, if you guys have some questions, drop it below before we wrap it up. But I wanted to make sure that we got this information out there to everyone, because it is such an amazing program. We have first hand experience with it, and the beauty that it does, and what it does for people, to become a homeowner versus renting. So, it's really incredible. And unless you have any other finishing thoughts or something that you want to say that we haven't touched on yet, Viri, we can go ahead and end it in that way.
So the only thing that I wanted to add, because this is really important, and it's, that I always tell people when I tell them about the program, because I tell them all the benefits, because there's just so many benefits. One thing though to keep in mind is that this is a government program. It's a down payment assistance program. The way it works is that you get the funding to buy your house. However, if you sell your house, if you refinance it, or if you rent it out, you have to pay this money back. Reason number one is because this program is designed for first-time home buyers, so the property that you buy has to be your primary home, right? Number one. Number two, in order to keep this program going and to be able to help other families, they want to be able to keep funding this program. So if people that already were able to buy the house, secure the house, help their family, and now they're selling or they're refinancing, or now they're renting it out, making it an investment property, they have to put the money back into the program so that many other families can benefit. That's just one of the things that I always tell people just to keep in mind, because I don't want people to later on, let's say two years down the road, they sell their house and they have to pay this money at closing. I don't want people to say, oh, Viri didn't tell me, I didn't know about the program. I make sure that people know at the beginning when I talk to them about the program, and also when they close, I make sure that they understand that this is kind of, a requirement that the program has.
Awesome. Yes, that's a really good point. And thank you so much for bringing that up as well, because that's definitely important to know, especially if your plans later on, right, is to maybe sell the house or refinance or whatever the case may be. Just keep that in mind. But this was an awesome conversation. I'm super excited for this. I really am going to start sharing, why I've already started, but I'm going to share this even more with people, because it's really something that can help so many people out. And I love it. I thank you so much for your time, Viri, and I thank you for your knowledge and your expertise. And I love how you do what you do, because like I said in the beginning, you can tell your heart is in it, and whatever you can do to help the person, I mean, I've experienced this firsthand, you do it, right? So thank you so much for being such an amazing community servant, and just doing what you do, girl. Keep on rocking. You're such a go-getter. And if you don't follow Viri on social media, definitely follow her. She does amazing content. And I don't know if you want to drop it below, if you want to tell people now how they can reach out to you if if they have any questions.
Yeah, so first I want to say thank you so much. It's always a pleasure, that I, have supported you guys since day one. I love what you guys do. Every time, I get an invite, I'm like, yes, I'll be there.
Yeah, so true.
Because I think that we're very, we're very aligned. We're very focused on serving the community going above and beyond, to help. So, I really like that about you, and like I really enjoy that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. I hope everyone has an amazing day. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. Let us know what we can do to help you, because we are here to help you. Whether you're a real estate agent or you're someone that's looking to thinking of buying or selling. Either way, we can help you. Or you're just curious, right? Maybe down the line you're curious of what the future might hold for you, and you're like, okay, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. That's something that we love to do as well. Let's create a game plan to get you where you want to go. So I'm super excited for this program. Look it up, rewatch this program, rewatch the live or the video, and if we haven't touched on any of your questions, like I said, reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. But thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Agents in the Trenches. We talk everything real estate related. So we'll be back for another episode next Friday. So keep on the loop. Don't keep watching, because every week is an amazing conversation. And that's it. That's all I have for everyone. So thank you so much. And until next time, have a great day.
Happy Friday.